Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a member of PMDG's tech team and a real-life Boeing 737 pilot. Today we are going to look at the engine out scenario, so an engine failure at V1. And we are going to continue this on a standard instrument departure, followed by an engine out SID. Let's quickly review our engine out SID. The engine out SID is taken straight at 2.5 dm from Oscar Echo Victor, then a right-hand turn via the Whiskey India 006, 007, left turn back to 006, and then across the airfield towards Rattenberg NDB. To make things a little bit more interesting, we have a GPWS terrain look-ahead failure today, so the terrain map is not going to be available and is on the minimum equipment list. This means that today we are going to have a limited navigation display as well. One more thing, when you have a complex engine out SID, you can program it at the end of the legs page so that you only need to put it active by the time that you need it. Then you can just copy the last waypoint and put it right in the front. Alright, all of this set, we have all checklists completed. We are at the holding point of runway 26. And I would like to welcome a special guest to today's stream. Welcome Alexander. He's a real-life air traffic controller in Austria. And he's going to do the ATC for us, both on the tower as well as on the radar frequency today. So, all of this set and done, we are ready for departure. So let's go. Austrian 57 Quebec X-ray, ready for departure.
Austrian 57 Quebec X-ray, wind calm, runway 26, cleared for takeoff, backtrack is approved.
Runway 26, cleared for takeoff, backtrack approved, Austrian 57 Quebec X-ray. Okay, confirm readback. Runway 26, cleared for takeoff, backtrack approved. Before takeoff checklist below the line. MCP, set. Transponder, TARA, strobe lights, on. Landing lights, on. Before takeoff checklist complete. Clear on the left, clear on the right. So as always in the lineup, we're trying to take as much runway as possible. On a short runway like Innsbruck, this is even more important than on the long ones. Generally, take as much runway as you have it. Okay, timing. Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal.
80 knots.
Checked. engine failure.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Select heading select. State malfunction. Okay, seems to be the engine number 1. We have 0 and 1. The engine fail flag is showing, and 0 and 2. There is no fire switch illuminated.
Contact Innsbruck Radar 128 975. Schöner Flug.
Austrian 57, Quebec Alpha, pan, engine failure, we call you back. Okay, so engine fire, severe damage, separation, memory items.
Quebec Alpha, your pan is copied, advice.
Auto throttle, if engaged, disengage. Disengage. Thrust lever, engine number 1, confirm, confirmed, close. Engine start lever, engine number 1, confirm, confirmed, cut off. Engine fire switch, engine number 1, confirm, confirmed, override and pull. If a fire light illuminates, that is not the case. That completes the memory items. Okay, buck up. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flap 1. Flaps up. Speed check, flaps up. Okay, let's put the engine out routing on top. Execute. LNAV available. Select LNAV. Okay, flaps up, no lights. Select level change. Level change. Set max continuous thrust. 96.4. I'm going to increase thrust on the number 2 engine. Max continuous thrust set. Okay, let's see if we can engage the autopilot. Command A. Okay, let's quickly talk to ATC and then we are going to continue with the non-normal checklist. Pan Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha. We have an engine failure. We are proceeding via Whiskey India 006, Whiskey India 007, back with a left turn to 006, and then across the field towards Rattenberg, climbing altitude 3000.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, your engine out procedure is copied, but due to radio coverage, contact now Innsbruck Radar 128.975.
128.975, Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, thank you. Okay, let's go into heading select here so that the airplane doesn't turn away when we gotta do the left turn. Innsbruck Radar, pan, Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, passing 6600, climbing 3000, engine failure. We're proceeding via Whiskey India 007 with a left-hand turn through the valley over the airport towards Rattenberg.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, Innsbruck Radar contact. Advise the nature of your urgency. What is the issue with the engine?
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, we have an engine severe damage and we're going to call you back.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, roger. For information, no icing has been reported and advise whenever you are ready to state your further intention.
57 Quebec Alpha, we call you in a couple of minutes. Okay, left turn through the valley. So, slightly in the clouds there, but not a lot we can do about this now. So let's start with the engine fire, severe damage or separation non-normal checklist. That is on page 174. How's this looking? Quite alright for now. Okay, engine fire, severe damage, separation, non-normal checklist. Are you ready for the condition statement? So, condition, one or more of these occur. An engine fire warning, airframe vibrations with unusual engine indications, or an engine separation. We definitely have the unusual indications, and I did feel some vibrations as well. We did not have a fire warning and the engine has not separated. Okay, let's put 006 on top again. Execute. LNAV available. LNAV. So, auto throttle if engaged, disengage. Disengaged. Thrust lever engine number 1, confirm close. Number 1, confirmed, closed. Engine start lever engine number 1, confirmed, cutoff. Number 1, confirmed, cutoff. Engine fire switch, engine number 1, confirm, pull. Confirmed, pulled. If the engine fire switch or engine overheat light stays illuminated, they are not illuminated right now. Okay. If high airframe vibration occurs and continues after the engine is shut down, I don't feel any vibration anymore. No. Okay, so that's not the case any longer. Isolation valve switch close. Close. Pack switch left side off. Left side off. This causes the operating pack to regulate to high flow in flight with the flaps up. APU bleeder switch off. Off. Choose one. APU is available for start or APU is not available. The APU is available. APU start. Okay, when the APU is running, APU generator switch affected side on. And we'll hold the checklist here. Austrian 5-7 Quebec Alpha, go ahead with your earlier request.
Austrian 5-7 Quebec Alpha, we would like to know your further intentions. If you intend to re-land at Innsbruck, alternate airports available would be Salzburg, approximately 70 miles northeast, or München, approximately 70 miles north of your position.
Austrian 5-7 Quebec Alpha, our initial intention is to proceed towards Rattenberg to join the holding to do some further troubleshooting, and then we'll call you back with our decision for diversion or not. We would appreciate if you could in the meantime get the latest weather for all the suitable alternates in the area for us.
Austrian 5-7 Quebec Alpha will do report once you're ready for the decision making process, and I'll call you back with the MET report once I have that.
5-7 Quebec Alpha, thank you. Okay, so when the APU is running, APU generator is affected switch on. So, it's the left side, so that's going to disconnect the autopilot. Let's put it in command B.
Radar contact information, Quebec, descent flight level 170.
Now, generator switch left side on. And back to command A.
Austrian 1035,
the autopilot is flying.
localizer DME east approach,
okay.
6 and 08 are available.
So, go to step 11. Balance fuel is needed. So, let's see. We have the right engine running and the right engine got less fuel. I don't see any reason to suspect a fuel leak, so let's go ahead with the fuel balancing procedure. So, transfer valve, open. Right, dim. Okay, low must go, we'll turn the right main pumps off. Right main pumps off. That's master caution fuel, low pressure associated.
Alpha, meter for Salzburg and München are now available.
Stand by. Okay, transponder mode selected, TA only. This prevents client commands which can exceed single engine performance capability. TA only. If wing anti-ice is needed, the wing anti-ice is not needed at the moment. Okay, plan to land at the nearest suitable airport. That's the engine fire, severe damage, separation, non-normal checklist completed. Go to the one engine inoperative landing checklist on page 7.26. Okay, let's go there. Alright, but before start going there, Let's see, we're in 130 now. Let's give us a good speed.
1035, descent flight level 140.
230 knots should be good. 75%-ish usually works. So let's see real quick what the FM is saying here. Using reserve fuel, that's checked. And let's just go engine out, left engine out. Maximum altitude at flight level 243, target speed 222 knots. Okay, so 230 is keeping us fine here, and we'll stay below this flight level. So, after takeoff checklist.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, due to traffic, able to proceed direct to Rattenberg now to enter the holding.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, affirm.
Roger, Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, proceed direct to Rattenberg, enter the hold.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, direct to Rattenberg, entering the hold. So, Rattenberg is on top, LNAV available, LNAV. So, after takeoff checklist.
1035, direct to Advik, straight in for localizer DME, east approach.
Engine bleeds, on, packs, auto. The left one is off due to the non-normal checklist, the right one is in auto. Landing gear up and off, and flaps up, no lights. Up, no lights. After takeoff checklist complete. So let's quickly go ahead and add a little bit of rudder trim as well.
Austrian 1035, descent flight level 120.
So control wheel is almost level. That's alright. So let's see what the Rattenberg holding is looking like. Of course the Navigraph charts are once again not working. Stand by. So here it is, Rattenberg holding 225 inbound, right hand turns, minimum flight level minimum 9,500 feet. Hold, Rattenberg, so 225 with a right hand turn, minimum 9,500, which it's not taking, okay, that doesn't matter for now. So that's all in. Alright, let's get the latest weather information from ATC. Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, we are ready to copy the weather information.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, roger. Met report München, observation time 1920, wind 200 degrees, 6 knots, visibility 10 kilometers or greater, clouds view 6,000 feet, Charlie Bravo, temperature 17, dew point 14, QNH 1021, temporary moderate showers of rain. Met report Salzburg, observation time 1920, wind 170 degrees, 8 knots, visibility 10 kilometers or greater, light showers of rain, clouds view 800 feet, scattered 5,000 feet, broken 8,500 feet, temperature 14, dew point 14, QNH 1022, recent showers of moderate rain, no thick.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, QNH Munich 1021, QNH Salzburg 1022, that's all copied. And confirm Innsbruck is still a few in 4,500 and wind calm?
I do confirm Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha.
57 Quebec Alpha, roger.
Austrian 1035, descend 10,000 feet, QNH.
Okay, then let's go ahead and do a PIOC to determine the further course of action. So the problem we're going to face now is that we'll have to do a single engine approach, resulting in degraded go-around performance. We'll have less stopping aids available, and we are no longer Cat 3 possible. And we're no longer able for a Cat 3 approach. So let's see. What are our options? As ATC told us, Munich, they've got Charlie Bravo and tempo showers of rain, so there's some thunderstorm activity in the area. Salzburg, few clouds 800 feet, but the temperature and dew point are equal and they have recent showers of rain as well, and light showers still. Innsbruck, few 4500, 1013 wind calm. Apart from that, we came from Innsbruck, so the company definitely has facilities available there to accommodate passengers. In Salzburg we have the facilities as well. In Munich we only have our Star Alliance partners. Apart from that, we do have maintenance available in Innsbruck, but not in Salzburg and not in Munich either. So let's select an option. I would say that Innsbruck is probably the best course of action, even though we have the degraded go-around performance. There's a high cloud base, if you can call it a cloud base at all. The winds are calm, and there is no risk of any thunderstorms or any degrading weather in the area. The runway is longer than 1,900 meters, which is the minimum we need. So I would say let's divert to Innsbruck. Okay. So, let's decide on that, and I'm going to advise ATC. Austrian 57, Quebec Alpha, are you ready to copy our intentions?
Austrian 57, Quebec Alpha, go ahead.
So, Austrian 57, Quebec Alpha, the nature of our problem is that we have an engine severe damage. Please also perform a runway inspection in Innsbruck to make sure that there is no debris on the runway. Our intention is to divert towards Innsbruck. The time until we're ready for the approach is between 5 and 10 minutes, and we have no special requests.
Also 15 Quebec Alpha, Roger, ground services are on standby. The runway inspection has already been performed. I'm waiting for the report. And we will have the services on standby. Do you need any special assistance once you get on the ground?
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, we should be able to vacate the runway as normal, and we will thereafter request the emergency services to inspect the aircraft for any signs of possible damage.
Also 57 Quebec Alpha, that is copied. If you wish, you can use full length of the runway and hold position at the turning plate 08, and the services will join via Alpha and escort you, but that is up to you. We can make either thing work.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, Roger. In that case we will stop on the runway and come to a stop on the turning pad.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, that is copied. In this case, services will stand by on Alpha. Do not vacate via Alpha directly and come to a hold at the turning pad runway 08.
57 Quebec Alpha, we will not vacate via Alpha and come to a hold at the turning pad. And we are going to call you back when we are ready for the approach.
That is copied. Austrian 1035, descent 9,500.
Okay, let's quickly talk to the cabin crew.
9,500.
Number 1 to the flight deck. So, cabin and flight deck number 1 standing by, cabin and flight deck number 2 standing by. Okay, I've got a NITS briefing for you. Report ready, copy. We're ready, copy. Okay, so we have an engine failure. The left-hand engine is damaged and has been shut down. Our intention is to return towards Innsbruck, and we are going to start the approach within 5 to 10 minutes. We will be landing approximately 10 to 15 minutes. I would like to request you to perform the SOS demo. Please read back. Okay, so nature is an engine failure. We're going to return to Innsbruck, landing in 10 to 15 minutes, and we will perform the SOS demo. Okay, thank you very much. I will recycle the seatbelt sign when we start our approach. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the one engine inoperative landing checklist. Here we are. One engine inoperative landing non-normal checklist. Condition: landing must be made with one engine inoperative. And this checklist is for airplanes without fail operational autoland capability. Yeah, we do not have fail operational capability. Plan a flap 15 landing. Set VRF 15 or VRF ice. If any of the following conditions apply, set VRF ice, which equals VRF 15 plus 10 knots. Engine anti-ice will be used during the landing. That is not the case. Wing anti-ice has been used any time during the flight. No, it has not. Icing conditions were encountered during the flight, and the landing temperature is below 10 degrees. Okay, the landing temperature is above 10, so that's not an issue either. Note, when VRF ice is needed, the wind additive should not exceed 10 knots. We do not need VRF ice today.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, go ahead.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, if the weather situation and your aircraft capability permit, descend 9,500 feet, QNH 1013.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, descending 9,500 feet on QNH 1013. Okay, set. 9,500 check. Level change. I'm just going to pull thrust off very slightly here to do gentle descent. Okay, so where do we stop? Right. Maintain VRF 15 plus 5 knots or VRF ice plus 5 knots minimum on final approach to assure sufficient maneuver margin and speed for go-around. Use engine anti-ice on the operating engine only, and that's the check is complete except deferred items. So let's go ahead.
Austrian 1035, contact tower 120.1, goodbye.
120.1, bye bye.
Cruise outage to 9,500, that's copied. So let's have a quick look at this. So we've got the Loc DME east approach. And we've got the Loc DME Romeo. That's for category Charlie aircraft. Let's quickly see where the difference is. Yeah, special aircrew and aircraft authorization required. We do have that. So we are actually going to do the localizer DME East. That's easier. We are familiar with that one. So that's going to go from Rattenberg 207 outbound to Adwick.
Austrian 1035, tried on 120.
We're going to cross Adwick above 9,500, and then it's to the Fox 26 at 9,500, and from there we are going to start our descent. 17 miles, 8,700, 14 miles, 7,500. Okay, that's all fine. Let's see, the minimums for this approach we'll take at 2.5 is 4,900 feet. And we've got another master caution there. That's air conditioning of scheduled descent. Yeah, that's acceptable. It's returning us to the departure field. So let's see, minimum's 4,900. Set, then our final approach course 254. And the frequency is 111.1. Okay, are you ready for the approach briefing? So, threats for the arrival. We're coming in on a single engine, which means that we will have degraded go-around performance, which is especially an issue on this arrival. So That's why we've got a pretty high minimums as well, but the clouds are few clouds only, so that should not be a problem. Apart from that, directional control could be a bit of an issue. However, the runway is short, so we are going to use the thrust reversers nonetheless. Apart from that, we're going to stop on the runway. Taxiway Alpha is going to be occupied by the emergency services as advised by our traffic control. And of course the high terrain is a bit of a problem here, so that's something that we have to take care of. And we're going to mitigate against that. Terrain display is inoperative, so we'll very carefully monitor the altitudes when we are performing the approach. Okay, would you have any other threats for the arrival? No, okay. Then, looking at the FMC, descent page can be disregarded. For the rings, we're just going to put runway 26 in here. And we'll take that just with a 10-mile ring and with a 4-mile ring, but that's really just for reference only, and not for any gear extension or so. Alright, let's look at the routing then. We're coming from Rattenberg, NDB, minimum 9,500 feet, 207 to Advik, and then to 19 DME, that's the Fox point, in 9,500 feet, we have that. From there we're going to descend, passing 17 miles, 8,700, 14 miles, 7,500, 9 miles, 5,500, and 6.3 miles and 4,400. Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, go ahead.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, for your consideration, no significant debris has been collected from the runway.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, copied, thank you very much. Okay, so 6.3, and then we've got a missed approach point in here. So this is, let's see, 3.77 degree glide, 3.6 by the FMC, that's within limits. So, let's go for the double brief then. We're going to fly this using Vorlog and VNAV. And for the descent planning, we're going to fly the complete descent in gear down, flaps 15. So by the time we're reaching 19 DME, we will lower the landing gear 1 mile before the final descent starts. Apart from that, our landing gate is going to be 500 feet as we're in VMC. And if we see the runway, we're going to disconnect, recycle flight directors and land the airplane. If we do not see the runway, or if there's anything else that we're not happy with, the earlier we go around, the better our terrain clearance is. So if that happens, 4,900 is going to be our minimums. Then we are just going to go around and follow the standard missed approach, which is climb on the localizer course 254 with a maximum gradient to 1 dm from Oscar Echo Victor. So let's see, that guidance is not available in the FMC now since we have the ANAF version programmed in here. Okay, so 1 DME from Oscar Echo Victor, left turn to Romeo Uniform Mike, 320 on the frequency, and active in the ADF. And then back towards the NDB. Maximum turn radius 0.9 miles, that means 155 knots with 25 degrees of bank. So that's going to be pretty tight with our speeds. So we are going to keep the flaps out in 15 for that turn. On to 060 to Romeo Uniform Mike, then rejoin localizer outbound and continue climbing on 074 degrees with maximum gradient. At 14 DME, turn left to Rattenberg NDB and hold at 9,500. Okay. Let's quickly see what we have in the box here, if that looks any different. But no, that's something totally different that we are definitely not going to fly. Let's see real quick. Do we have the... What if we take localizer 26? The points are all the same, and the missed approach is no better at all. Okay, well, we'll have to live with this. And we definitely can live with it, so not a problem at all. What else? Let's quickly do our landing performance. So, virtual performance tool, landing en route. We are going to Innsbruck, runway 26, 2.5, dry. Let's calculate a 5 knot tailwind, 15 degrees, 1013. Non-normal checklist, engine inoperative. It's going to be landing config 15. Let's go on the conservative side, 57.9 tons. With a 5 knot VRF addition and no reverse credit calculate. So max auto brake is 1549. Let's quickly see what happens if we take that times 1.3, which is the safety margin we want to add. So 1549 times 1.3 is 2013. We only have 1940, so we're not going to do that. Let's do max manual then. 1258 times 1.3, 1635. We can do that. Okay. Just for the safety reasons, I'm going to select auto brake max anyway. So, flaps 15 in here. So that's pretty much all in. And let's quickly go ahead with the non-normal checklist here. So, plan a flap 15 landing. We've done that. Set VRF 15 or VRF ice. We have set VRF 15. Maintain VRF 15 plus 5 knots minimum on final approach ensure sufficient maneuver margin and speed for go-around. We're doing that. Use engine anti-ice on the operating engine only is not a problem either. Okay, so let's do the deferred items descent checklist then. Pressurization. Landing altitude. We've got the automatic return. Set. Recall. So fuel, air lag and air conditioning. Let's see for the fuel. That's almost balanced. So, pumps on. We're going to keep the isolation valve open. Then we have ELAC, which is the drive 1 light that's associated with the engine failure, and air conditioning, which is the off-scheduled descent light. So that's all associated with our current flight conditions. Auto brake, max set, landing data, VRF 15, VRF 15. Minimums 4,900. Approach briefing completed. Deferred items descent checklist complete. So, let's tell ATC that we are ready to start the approach then. Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, next time we're passing Rattenberg, we are ready to start the approach.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, roger. Upon the next pass of Rattenberg, cleared localizer DM East approach, runway 26, report established, free speed.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, next time we're passing Rattenberg, cleared localizer DM East approach, runway 26, free speed, and we are going to reduce to our final approach speed at the start of the descent already.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, roger.
So, if additional go-around thrust is needed, yes it is needed. Configure the pressurization system for a no engine bleed landing when below 10,000 feet. Wing anti-ice switch off? Off. Isolation valve switch close? Closed. Bleed 1 air switch off? Bleed 1 air switch? Off. Caution, do not open the APU bleeder valve if the engine fire switch is illuminated. There is no fire switch illuminated. APU bleeder switch on. On. Left pack switch auto? Left pack, auto. Bleed 2 air switch off. Bleed 2 air switch off. And that's the additional go-around thrust completed. So, go-around procedure review. Do the normal go-around procedure except use flaps 1, maintain VRF 15 plus 5 knots or VRF ice plus 5 knots until reaching minimum flap retraction altitude. So that is going to be 1,000 above the ground, but only once we've completed the turn. Limit bank angle to 15 degrees when airspeed is less than VRF 15 plus 15 knots, or the minimum maneuver speed, whichever is lower. Accelerate to flap on maneuver speed before flap retraction. Okay, we're going to do that. So, we're cleared for the approach. Let's proceed direct to Rattenberg over here. Execute. LNAV available. LNAV. So, let's... yeah, we're not receiving the localizer yet, so we can't do a frisk yet. But I'm quickly going to talk to the cabin crew again. Number 1 to the flight deck. Alright, we are starting the approach now, and we are going to be on the ground in 10 minutes from now. Alright. Quick PA to the passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. As you have noticed, we had a minor technical malfunction, and we are unfortunately not able to continue our flight towards Hamburg, and we are going to return towards Innsbruck. We will be landing there in approximately 10 minutes time, and the cabin crew is going to point out the safety features of this aircraft again. Please pay your full attention, as that is for your own safety. The company is already looking into providing another aircraft and to provide further transport towards your final destination. We would like to apologize once again for the inconveniences caused, but nonetheless, I would now like to ask you to fully comply with our cabin crew's instructions. Thank you very much for your attention. Alright, so they are catered for. Let's do a first check then. I'm getting the ident now. Frequency is 111.1. Rings, runway 26, 10-4. Idents, we've got Oscar Echo Victor on both sides. Standby instrument set, courses 254. So, approach checklist. Altimeters, 1013. Approach checklist complete. Let's start slowing down. So there's an additional deferred item here, which is ground proximity flap inhibit switch to flap inhibit. That's the flap inhibit switch to flap inhibit. That's our localizer alive. Warlock armed. Flaps 1. Speed check, flaps 1. Are a little bit fast right now. I'm going to use the speed brake to slow us down. Okay, approaching descent. 4,900 feet set. VNAV path and speed intervent. Flaps 5. Speed checked. We have glide slope capture. Gear down, flap 15. So FAF 9,300 feet, a little bit delayed, but that's not a problem. Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha established.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, Dankeschön, contact tower 120.1, goodbye.
120.1, Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, thank you for your help. Okay, that's our speed coming down, and at 17 miles we've been on the glide. So 14 miles, 7,500. Innsbruck Tower, Pan, Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, localizer DME East, runway 26.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, Innsbruck Tower, servus. After landing, hold position on the runway, do not vacate via Alpha. Advise once the aircraft has come to complete stop.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, after landing will hold position on the runway and we do not vacate via Alpha.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, Dankeschön, wind calm, runway 26, clear to land.
Runway 26, clear to land, Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha. Okay, so let's do the deferred items landing checklist. So, engine start switch on the operating engine continues. Continues. We have been clear to land. Let's put the lights on as well. Speed brake armed. Armed. Landing gear down. Down. Flaps. 15 green light. That's 15 green light. Deferred items landing checklist complete. So next is 9 miles at 5,500. And have the runway in sight. Let's set the missed approach altitude. Set. 9,500 feet checked. Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing. Line DME, 5,500 feet. It's checked. On glide. Okay, and we are visual, disconnecting.
Plus 100.
Checked.
Minimums.
Continue. Recycle flight directors. Okay, now slightly braking out to the left to get established on the runway center line. And detune the localizer so that we don't get nuisance warnings. Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, request wind check.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, wind still calm, but showing variable 7 knots west of the field.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, copy, thank you. Okay, we're back on the puppies. Five and continue. Okay, let's slightly exceed the 1,000 feet a minute here. We're getting a little bit high.
Sink rate.
Yeah, we're going to maintain it.
Sink rate.
That's the safer course.
Sink rate. 10.
Speed brake up, thrust as normal. 100 knots. 80 knots, and he said he wanted us in the turn pad, manual braking. Okay, brake set. Let's put the APU on both sides and shut down engine number 2. Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, we have stopped on the runway. We are shutting down engine number 2. The aircraft is safe to be approached by the emergency services.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, if able delay the shutdown of engine number 2, we are in contact with the services.
57 Quebec Alpha, sorry, unable now, it's shutting down already.
Austrian 57 Quebec Alpha, roger. The TAC is on its way. You may remain on the runway and follow the instructions by the fire brigade. They're coming off by your left side window now.
57 Quebec Alpha, thank you. We have visual contact with the fire brigade. Alright, so thank you very much everyone for joining on the stream. This is pretty much what this procedure is going to look like, and also my special thanks to Alexander for providing the excellent ATC services for this one.
Ja, meine Freude, danke, bis zum nächsten Mal. Goodbye.
So, thank you very much everyone, that is it. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments if you want me to do any more streams.